the amount of energy that is around this team, the way that everybody's kind of waking up to the Thunder. I don't know, dude. You're just kind of explaining how it made you feel and how, I don't know. It feels pretty cool to have something that's like a community like this now.
Yeah, and I think this is, I just want to say thank you, first of all. Like, when Mark and I started on this road, we felt that we needed to be heard because the positivity was missing with the rebuild or the retool. And when that happens, to me, it's always frustrating because the reality is that this team needs all the positivity behind it. They need all the support behind it because when you're young, you listen to everything else. They're not, I mean, you can say they're professional athletes because they're getting paid millions of dollars, but mentally they're still not there. You know, they're not the Kobe mentality or the Michael mentality or the Shaq mentality where they can just push away all the noise.
If we learn one thing with the previous generations is, players hear the noise.
Yeah. And it's important for us to show the support. And I think that's what we felt was missing. And again, why this is so important for us when we're talking to you guys is because the support you guys continuously show us. And if you guys want to take a look on as far as what I'm talking about, just go look at our comments and every single podcast that we put up. And there's so many different people that are just speaking up and saying thank you to us. And it's really inspirational to us, Mark and I. And I know we're spending a lot of time saying thank you to you guys, but it just means something to us. And so as we're getting into what we're talking about with this Thunder, again, this community is everything to us. Like, we're not going to stop podcasting. We're not going to stop going live. Off season is just another way of looking at what's happening with the Thunder. We got draft, we got free agencies, we got all this other stuff that we're going to continue bringing up. And we're not going to stop the community just because the Thunder aren't playing.
It's been at least 7 years since I missed a Thunder game that wasn't like through absolute blackout and I couldn't even find a good illegal stream. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it's been for me. And I know that, like, for us, it's been like the same thing for you. So watching all of these people suddenly kind of like feel invigorated, not in a way like, oh, well, it's been a couple of years since we made the playoffs. No, the last time we made the playoffs, people kind of knew what was coming. Like, it was going to be short-lived with Chris Paul. And previously, when we made the playoffs with Russ and Paul George, there's a lack of enthusiasm, right? This is a new enthusiasm. And, like, how does it make you feel?
Again, it's the energy that everybody's putting out there, the idea that people are waking up, and it's not just the Oklahoma State Thunder fans, it's the media everywhere. They're all starting to see what we've been saying all year. And that's what's so powerful, like, because when you look at this team and you look at what we said that this team was going to get someplace around 40 wins and make the playoffs and have a lot of playoff minute games towards the end of the season. Like, that's what we thought this team was capable of doing without Chet. And everybody said we were crazy outside of who the people that have taken time to listen to us. And I think that's important to look at it, because when you recognize what's happening inside the organization, right, and you feel that you have a really good read on it, and then you're able to express that, and then everything that you've been saying is coming to fruition because you've bought in to the Sam Presti idea.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what we've done, like, when everything is coming, the playoff time, the playoff minutes, Shea stepping up, Josh Giddey getting the near triple double, Dort stepping up when we needed him the most. Like, this is what happens when you play as a team. Like, Shea didn't have to score more than 7 points in the first half. Why? Because everybody else is hitting shots. And he was just taking the double team for him. Like, to me, this is what team basketball is all about.
Dude, JDub.
Yes.
Not his biggest offensive game, but huge defensive assignments, like you were saying. He made big plays down the stretch.
I just don't think people are saying enough about him. There's so many other things that are happening, but let's just stop and appreciate his defensive night, bro. Like, it was spectacular. Like, he literally, like, every single time I think of JDub playing good defense, you know who I think about? I think about Shea sitting there yelling at KD, joking around, saying, "Careful, man, I'm going to stick my rook on you." And then the next time they played, JDub was guarding KD. Like, that's what I'm thinking about constantly, man. It's like, how does Shea say, "Careful, man, I'm going to stick my rookie on you," and then Shea pretty much makes sure he gets his rookie, and it makes a difference. And you could tell, like, KD was impressed. You know, KD was impressed.
So, all right. So JDub wins the Western Conference Rookie of the Month for March and April. So that's 2 months there. But we're used to seeing Thunder rookies get this Western Conference Player of the Month, but we shouldn't ever get used to it. You know, we need to definitely take the time to tip our hat to that. Obviously, he would have liked to have a better offensive game. But this goes back to what I said kind of at the beginning, which is JWill and JDub, their fourth quarters, amazing. But let's stick with JDub for a little bit, and we'll go to JWill in a minute.
Cool.
JDub gets downhill. He finishes at the rim. He creates mismatches. There was a shot where JDub missed, right? JWill gets the rebound, gets it back to JDub, and JDub attacks the rim and goes and finishes. That's rookie-on-rookie action.
It was filthy.
Yeah, and that's what we need. That's what we need when you have so much attention being paid to the stars, right? You need those other guys who understand the ability to impact the game by going and grabbing a loose ball, by making the right cut, by being prepared for the moment. And it's uncommon to get one rookie who's ready for that. But we get two of them on a team that's full of young players. Bro, it's something special.
Yeah, and I want to say after we saw about 20 games with JWill out there, I started saying that JWill wouldn't be drafted outside of the lottery anymore. Like, people would not let him drop that far.
Yeah, people have been saying it.
Now you're hearing it from other people, and you're hearing it from other podcasters and stuff like that. Is that JWill's game is something that's special? You know, it's something that a lot of people have missed. And to me, I'm seeing this with our rookies, and that's how we know the game is changing so drastically, guys, right now, is because these rookies that are coming and shining and making it look like, whoa, how are these rookies so good? It's because the shift in the NBA has already started happening. And when that shift happens, you get guys like in the same draft where it's like LeBron, Carmelo, D Wade, you know, Chris Paul. I mean, you get a massive draft, and everyone's like, holy shit, how did that draft happen like that? It's because the change and shift has happened. And when it's all said and done, and we're looking back and we're saying this draft class is one of the greatest draft classes that, you know, any team is ever going to have. And I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that with all of my heart, because if you look at JDub, you look at JWill, you look at Ousmane Dieng, and we're still not talking about what I think could be one of the best players of this generation, and that's Chet. And that's what's so impressive about this, is that you look at Sam Presti, you look at what he's doing, and it starts with JDub. You know, it's understanding I'm willing to trade whatever it takes to protect that pick because I need JDub on our team. Dude, and that was so next level, it's not even funny. And that's why I'll always be grateful for what has Sam Presti allowed us to have here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I mean, it's uncommon to have two players with the same name, both of them being rookies and both of them being out there in the key moments of a elimination game being role players plus. 888 game for JWill, 8 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. And JDub came in fresh off of that award, knowing that he was going to be somebody that the defense highlighted, and he found a way to make an impact through, you know, being patient and just getting to the right spots and taking the shots that were his. I feel like
shutting down CJ's lanes. I mean, completely.
Yeah, and his defense and JWill's drawing charges. I mean, there's so many things.
Here's the thing: they didn't give him any charges last night, did they?
But I think he got one.
Well, one, okay.
Yeah.
But that was what's so crazy about it is, the way that he was playing was making it so Valanciunas' impact was almost null and void. And that's what's crazy about it.
Even though he had 18 rebounds, though.
Yeah, but he had 18 rebounds, but I want to say he had 8 of those in the first quarter, you know, and he had most of his offensive boards in that first quarter. And the reason I say that is because JWill learned, stepped up, became better, and we saw it right in front of us. You know, this maturity out of this young man that, man, I get excited about, man.
So one of the things that I felt like was really consistent with this team as the game went on was that when the pressure was mounting, right, the Pelicans really played tighter and we continued to play loose. And as a testament of that, kind of example is like we closed the game with the same lineup we started the game. And for most teams, that's not surprising, but we're always closing the game with different units than what we start with. And we saw JWill and JDub really loosen up in the fourth quarter and really come into their own and have some of their biggest moments of the game in the fourth quarter. JWill knocked down a 3. He was playing great defense, getting big rebounds. And JDub was just like, he finally found like seams in the defense and was hitting those. And to me, I felt like those two guys getting coaches' trust as rookies and having a way of playing freer. And what does that freedom come from? It comes from like, and I've been listening to a lot of talking heads talk about the Thunder after this game, and the Thunder play the right way. They play together. They share the ball, right? And when you do that, when you have a leader like Shea, who invites a double team to get the defense off balance so he can make the first pass and get the defense scrambling, and then we can attack from positions of strength, like the whole first half, right? Like, it gives those players confidence as the game goes on. So as the pressure mounted, right, then the other teams started cracking. And one of the things we know about the Timberwolves, and I don't want to get stuck too much talking about them, is the last game, the pressure mounted and they started cracking around the edges. So
the last 2 games, man.
There's something to be said about that coming up. But what we saw was a team, the youngest team in NBA, the second youngest team in NBA history, the youngest core in NBA history, as we like to say, played with an enormous amount of poise that is impressive for any group, no matter their age.
Well, and I want to say the competitiveness that we saw, and really the fourth quarter and the competitiveness that we saw with JWill, JDub, and Josh Giddey. And I'm only bringing these 3 guys up. I mean, we all saw it with Shea, we all saw it with Dort, but the 3 guys that I want to really hyper focus on was Josh Giddey. Listen, Josh Giddey caused a flagrant foul. Okay, now what do I mean by that? Well, Josh Giddey got punched in the dick, all right? And after he gets punched in the dick, what does he do? He gets up and starts running at the player.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. You can't punch me in the dick.
You cannot do that.
Now, why is that important?
No dick punchers here.
Because the refs were now forced to look at it. They were forced to stop it because...
But there's a line, right? Because if you lose your cool, then you get a technical.
That's right. And that's why Richardson was like inviting him over. He was trying to get Josh Giddey to get a technical. But that's where you saw JWill and Shea. Like, Shea's even smiling and laughing because what Josh was doing was funny. Like, he can't fucking punch me in the dick. Like, what the hell? Like, and, Shea's laughing. Again, this is exactly what we needed to see last night. We were backs up against the wall. They were picking on us. They were trying to get us to snap. And what happens? We increase our intensity without losing our cool. And that's all because of what Josh was able to do. Shea, Dort, JDub, JWill. Like, JWill was a master last night. I mean, he was a master with the ball. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And